Making a video like this one was surprisingly difficult, not because I don't know enough games, but because how vague the actual description of survival games actually are. Technically, any game where you should not die can be tagged as survival, and games like Left 4 Dead and even Souls-like are technically survival games. But you do not think of Left 4 Dead 2 when you're thinking about survival games, right? So for this list, we need to make ground rules, and I actually did that. So to count as survival games, you need to fall under 3 criteria. First, it has to be an open world, so basically you need to have an ability to move freely in this world. Second, you should have some type of crafting, which means resource gathering, progression through crafting. And third, it should have some type of survival mechanics, meaning that it should have something like thirst or hunger or temperature or environmental hazards or any of those things. And so with all this in mind, I made the list of 27 plus a few more list of survival games that you can play right now. By the way, this is the mix of games that I like and the games that have high ratings. So in this case, the position in the list has actually a difference, meaning that higher it is on the list, the higher ratings it has on Steam. And for this video, I'm going to be using SteamDB ratings, and I'm going to be telling you all the ratings, which is kind of like more accurate than regular Steam ratings. And you're gonna see the game titles and the ratings right here, so that I would not be needing to tell you all the numbers all the time.
And this video is sponsored by this channel's brand new sponsor, Instant Gaming. If you want to get best games for the cheapest prices, no matter it's on a PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo consoles, and you don't want to wait for any sales, Instant Gaming is the way to go. And I also partnered with Instant Gaming for epic giveaway of any game of your choice in the description down below. So click the link in the description to take part in there. And also, every purchase that you make on Instant Gaming through my link will help the channel as well. So click the link in the description to get the best games for the best prices. Now back to the video.
So at number 27 is Lens Island, one of the newer games in the list. Discover survivors thrive in a Lens Island where intense dungeon crawling meets an open world action RPG. Master skill-based combat, craft powerful items, build and defend your homestead, and find solace in farming. Your journey, your destiny. At number 26 is Ark Survival Evolved. Stranded on the shores of mysterious island, you must learn to survive. Use your cunning to kill or tame the primeval creatures roaming the island and encounter other players to survive and dominate and to escape. At number 25 is Enshrouded. You play as a Flameborn, last ember of hope of a dying race. Awaken, survive the terror of corrupting fog, and reclaim the lost beauty of your kingdom. Venture into the vast world, vanquish punishing bosses, build the grand halls, and forge your path in this co-op survival action RPG for up to 16 players. At number 24 is Green Hell. Plunge into the open world survival simulation set in extreme conditions of an uncharted Amazon jungle. Use real-life survival techniques to craft, hunt, fight, and gather resources, set a makeshift shelter, or rise fortress. Tend your wounds and maintain a mental health, alone or with your friends. And number 23 is Rust, where the only aim is to survive. Everything wants you to die. The island's wildlife, other inhabitants, the environment, and most importantly, other survivors. Do whatever it takes to last another night, and spoiler alert, you most likely will not. Number 22 is V Rising. Awaken as vampire, hunt for blood in the nearby settlements to regain your strength and evade the scorching sun to survive. Raise your castle and thrive in an ever-changing open world full of mystery. Gain allies online and conquer the land of the living. At number 21 is Space Engineers, the true Minecraft in space. Space Engineers is a sandbox game about engineering, construction, exploration, and survival in space and on the planets. Players build spaceships, space stations, planetary outposts of various sizes and uses pilot ships and travel through space to explore planets and gather resources to survive. At number 20 is 7 Days to Die, which just got full release after years of in early access. 7 Days to Die is an open world game that is a new combination of first-person shooter, survival horror, tower defense, and role-playing games. Play the definitive zombie survival sandbox RPG that came first. At number 19 is Grounded. The world is vast and beautiful and dangerous place, especially when you have been shrunk to the size of an ant. Can you thrive alongside the hordes of giant insects? Fight to survive the perils of a backyard? Well, find out in Grounded. And number 18 is Escapist 2. Craft, steal, and brawl to escape. It's a time to bust out the toughest prisons as you return to the life of an inmate in an Escapist 2, which now has a multiplayer. Have you got what it takes to escape? Well, just find out. At number 17 is A Long Dark, which is a thoughtful exploration survival experience that challenges solo players to think for themselves as they explore the expensive frozen wilderness in an aftermath of geomagnetic disaster. There are no zombies, only you, the cold, and all the threats that Mother Nature can muster. And not gonna lie, this is one of the favorites of mine. At number 16 is An Astroneer, the strangely beautiful game about an aerospace industry and interplanetary exploration. Survive, travel from planet to planet, and uncover the mysteries of each and every one of them. With one of the most unique HUDs, this game is practically must play for any gamer. And number 15 is is Necessi? I still don't know how to pronounce it. Build, quest, and conquer across the infinite procedurally generated world. Play alone or with friends as you establish a settlement and explore deep dungeons, fight monsters and bosses, mine rare ores, craft magical equipment, and recruit specialists for the colony, and much more. At number 14 is This War of Mine. In this game, you do not play as an elite soldier, rather a group of civilians trying to survive in a besieged city, struggling with the lack of food, medicine, and constant danger from snipers and hostile scavengers. The game provides an experience of war seen from an entirely new angle. Number 13 is Wrath. Wrath throws you and your friends into an epic oceanic adventure. Alone or together, players battle to survive in perilous voyage across the vast sea. Gather debris, scavenge rips, and build your own floating home, but be wary of man-eating sharks. Number 12 is Pal World. Fight, farm, build, and work alongside mysterious creatures called pals. Pokemon. Sorry. It is completely new multiplayer open-world survival and a crafting game, which is basically a war crime simulator, but yeah, you do you. At number 11 is Project Zomboid. Project Zomboid is an ultimate zombie survival game. Alone or in multiplayer, you loot, build, craft, fight, farm, and fish in a struggle to survive. A hardcore RPG skill set, a vast map, massively customizable sandbox awaits you. So how will you die? Well, you'll find out soon enough. At number 10 is Abiotic Factor. It's a survival crafting experience for 1 to 6 players set in the depth of an underground research facility. Caught between paranormal containment failure, a military crusade, and chaos from the dozen realms, the world's greatest minds must survive against the universe's biggest threats. And it's actually one of the newest games in the list. At number 9 is Valheim, the brutal exploration and survival game for 1 to 10 players set in a procedurally generated purgatory inspired by a Viking culture. Battle, build, and conquer your way to a saga worthy of an Odin's patronage. And yeah, this is one of the favorites of mine. At number 8 is truly the favorite of mine, Kenshi, a free-roaming squad-based RPG focusing on open-world sandbox gameplay features rather than a linear story. Be a trader, a thief, a rebel, a warlord, adventurer, a farmer, a slave, or just food for cannibals. Train your men up from puny victims to master warriors. And number 7 is a Planet Crafter, a space survival open-world terraforming crafting game designed for 1 to 10 players. Alter the ecosystem of an inhospitable planet to render it habitable for humanity. Survive, gather resources, and build your base, then gather oxygen, warmth, and pressure and create brand new biosphere. And at number 6 is The Forest. As a lone survival of a passenger jet crash, you find yourself in a mysterious forest battling to stay alive against a society of cannibalistic monsters. Build, explore, and survive this terrifying first-person survivor horror simulator. And this is the game with one of the best stories in the survival genre. And before we're gonna get to top 5, let me tell you about the 8 honorable mentions, the ones that I like that did not make the top 27 because of their low ratings. And these are Among Trees, Stranded Deep, DayZ, Norland, Conan Exiles, No Man's Sky, Sunken Land, and State of Decay 2. Continuing at number 5 is Don't Starve. Don't Starve is an uncompromising wilderness survival game full of science and magic. Enter the strange and unexplored world full of strange creatures, dangers, and surprises. Gather resources to craft items and structures that match your survival style. At number 4 is Oxygen Not Included, which is a space colony simulation game. Deep inside an alien space rock, your industrious crew will need to master science, overcome the strange new life forms, and harness incredible space tech to survive and possibly thrive. At number 3, and all the top 3 is the favorites of mine, is Subnautica. Descend to the depths of an alien underwater world filled with wonder and peril. Craft equipment, pilot submarines, and outsmart the wildlife to explore lush coral reefs, volcanoes, cave systems, and more, all while trying to survive. And at number 2 is the RimWorld, the sci-fi colony sim driven by an intelligent AI storyteller. It generates the stories by simulating psychology, ecology, gunplay, melee combat, climate, biomes, diplomacy, interpersonal relationships, art, medicine, trade, and more. And yeah, truly insane things can happen in this game. And at number 1 is none other than Terraria. Not just the top survival game, but just top highest rated game on Steam, period. Dig, fight, explore, and build. Nothing is possible in this action-packed adventure game, and don't let these games look fool you. It's far deeper and far more complex than anything that you have seen. Oh boy, this was 27 plus 8 survival games that you can play right now. But if you prefer RPG to survival games, I actually have a list of the best RPGs right here as well that you can watch right here right now. Or if you just prefer the single player games, I have an entire list for the single player games right here as well. This is for today. Thanks for being here with me, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe right here as well. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take care.